Hello everyone, this is Jill with Cocoa Daisy, and I'm coming in just to make a quick video because I am literally unboxing my Denim and Blush kit, the February kit from Cocoa Daisy, and the memory keeping kits. And so as I put them away into the container that I've decided I'm using for these kits, I thought you could just join along and I'd say a little bit about each, though my goal is to try to make this a somewhat quick video because, as we know, these kits are just jam-packed with goodness. So here is my essentially like tackle box, toolbox setup. It's very large, really, so you can't see it very well on camera, but it holds a lot, so it works well for me. It has these two sides, which is helpful because I tend to mix up my kits, which is not really a problem, but sometimes I want to remember which comes from which. So I tend to divide the sides and make this the TN kit and this the modern memory keeping kit. So with that said, let's go ahead and start putting some things in. I'm going to start with let's start with the color scheme, which is blue, a kind of denim blue, and blush, or a really pale pink. And I think one way to demonstrate that is to take a look at the glitter dots that come in both of the memory keeping kits. And so you can see there are these really pretty blues in the kit, as well as pale pinks, and then this neutral that's just a really nice creamy color. Okay, and as I said, these are great for embellishing, and you get a set in each of the memory keeping kits. Let's start with the Traveler's Notebook kit, and flipping through it will give you a sense of what the paper is like. I really like what they used for the cover, and I also love the center of the book, which is one of my favorite papers. I love notebooks and ledgers, and so it's like a combination, a kind of collage of ledger and notebook paper. So that'll be, I'm sure I'm going to use that. That might be where I start. I try to find like kind of my favorite paper to start with. But as we flip through the TN, you can see that's a really nice ombre of the peachy pink blushy tones in the kit. Some really subtle stripes, more text-based, note-taking, evocative of that. Hearts, of course, since it's February. Some pretty combinations of the blue and pink. And there is this check too in a deeper tone of that neutral kind of caramely color. So that's the TN. And as I said, these are in both kits. There's my other set. The washi is really, really pretty in the TN. Let me get it started here to show you. It's got a rose gold shimmer to it, and otherwise a kind of pale blush color. I love washi tape, so I'll put that in up here. So you can sort of see there's a little compartment where I can store the washi. This is the stamp in the TN. It has a big word love, and then these nice little phrases that can be combined with it, like love this life, love everything about this, love is all you need. Arrows, which are always like really easy to use and helpful to direct your eye across the page. Yeah, and a few little tiny hearts that can be layered. Each of the memory keeping kits has a little stamp pad, which is always nice. This one's blue. The one in the modern memory keeping kit is pink. Okay, and as I said, I'm going to designate this side for this kit, and as I put these in, you can kind of take a look at the phrases and the imagery for the kit. Love looks like. Some pink, some blue. A rather blustery day, which is good for February. This is what a good day looks like in that caramely creamy color. They all fit in here really nice. I love the florals. And I guess you all have kind of gotten used to the fact that these are now adhesive on the back. Peel off the back and you're all good to go for the stickiness, which I really love. It just took me a long time to remember that's the case now. Every picture tells a story. Never ever forget this. What I will probably do, I like to kind of separate out the blank things to stamp on and then the things with sentiments in this side. So I might get a little more organized, but for now I'm just gonna toss them in. First, it's a little heart circle. Yeah, see what I mean? Like some are plain and you can add stamping. It's more of these cute little tabs that are like ticket shaped. Lots of different ways you could use these. Again, arrows. Okay, so the other thing that the memory keeping kits come with, of course, is like 6x8 paper that you can cut up or use in a variety of ways, use in the notebook, punch, so forth, and they are all the different colors and designs that you saw as we flipped through the TN. Yeah, I typically keep these in a separate place, but this is good for the alphas. Now let me show you the, this is the font we've been seeing in the Cocoa Daisy kits, and it's really been fun to get it in all the different colors. And of course, this time we're gonna get a blue, and then you'll see in the modern memory keeping kit that it'll be pink. Typically I cut these in half and then they fit just really nicely in here. I think they fit in here anyway, but that's what I'm gonna do is just cut them in half. As usual, the kits come with chipboard, and you can see the color palette really nicely when you just glance across the chipboard. And I really like these half circle chipboards, but there are lots of great ones this month. Again, things you can use like just to tell a story of a weekend, to focus on the photo, really generic memories. Yeah. Anyway, great. So those will go in there too. One thing in the TN kit that's relatively new that I really loved last month and I know I'm going to love again this month are these kind of tip-ins, or these papers that are sized for the TN. And some of them have sentiments on them, but it's really, really nice. It adds space, for one thing, to whatever you create. And then it allows you to, if there's a page that you don't particularly like, but you want to use the page, or if you want to use one of the blank ones, but make it a little more interesting, these are great to add in. There is a vellum one in here too, which is always fun. I often use it to like punch shapes out of it and do things like that, but sometime I'm going to actually use it inside the TN in its whole, and as a whole piece, because there's just so many possibilities there. So that's the TN kit. Here's the pink ink I was telling you is in the other kit, the modern memory keeping kit. Here's the stamp from that kit. Really like it. I like all these leaf shapes. I find them easy to use and fun and decorative without being like too thematic. They're very easy to use throughout the year. And a few nice little sentiments and some journaling lines. Really, really good to have. Okay, so that's that. This kit comes with a ruler. That's great for those of you who measure things all the time. I tend to not really measure, but every now and then I really want like a straight edge. And also I like this sort of thing to see that my alpha title is not too wonky. You know, it gives me a little bit of guidance. So it's nice. It's nice to have a little ruler. And I think I can slide that right up by the ink pads in my little kit here. One thing that's great for if you're using the modern memory keeping kit for Project Life or Pocket Pages, or other kinds of scrapping, are phrase stickers. They're so great. I really, really love them and almost always use a bunch of them every month. And so these are particularly nice because they're just black and white. They will go with whatever you put together. Okay, so again, that's in the modern memory keeping kit. The modern memory keeping kit does have cards. I haven't had a chance to even really look through these very much, but they have the color scheme. Oh, that one's really pretty with the flowers. I love it. See, I usually put the cards up there in that tray. Yeah, so nice. These are great when you have just a kind of numbered list and a very subtle palette, and you can very easily like type or write on that. I think the way I tend to separate my cards is which ones can I add journaling to and which ones are more essentially filler cards. lots of good journaling cards this month. And some of these too are designed to add photos like in the middle of the card. So I always look for those too. And I'm not really flipping them over. The other side always offers another possibility. Here's a date night, kind of like the review stamp we had last month, except with the change of like rating the date, which is great. I love the month cards. This is in the same format as the one we had last month, which I did use in my project life. There's a really pretty floral design again. So that's what we get for the cards. There are also a few 4x6 cards, maybe just 2, but they have 2 sides to them. Different things you can do with those. Both kits, as I said, have the chipboard. They're, I believe, different in the 2 kits. So you have a different choice of sentiments, and if you get both kits, then you can combine them and use them in different ways. It's always really nice to have the hearts and the stars for embellishment clusters and so forth in the color scheme of the denim and blush. Okay, so that's the second of the chipboards. Yeah, they are different colors and different sentiments. Both kits have the alpha, and this one is in that really pretty neutral, which will be great. It's good to combine with the blue too if you're building a title. Papers we're familiar with, but just to let you know, the Modern Memory Keeping Kit has plenty of them and also has some of the white cardstock. If you want to do, well, we'll get into the different things you can do with this kit in a minute. But first, let's look at the die cuts, which are in the same color palette as the ones we saw in the TN kit, but there is, you know, some versatility in and some difference in what the phrases are, this and that, and what might work nicely in these projects. I really love this one, Grateful for You. Pretty scripty one. The plain labels, as I said, I like to separate so I know what I can stamp on and add to clusters. And month, usually you get some sort of month specific ones. Not all positive because we have other kinds of stories to tell these days. This one says "so over this." Pretty navy flower. Happy together. Like this one with a kind of grid behind the word love. Some tabs. Some ticket type tabs. Awesome. Okay. So the other thing I wanted to say about the Modern Memory Keeping Kit, and this will take us back to the TN kit too, but both memory keeping kits come with idea sheets, and these are really helpful. And the Modern Memory Keeping Kit gives you ideas about the different ways, the different formats this kit will work with. Because you can do, of course, use the cards and do a traditional project life. You can do a 9x12 project life, which I do. You can always do a 6x8 album, and I have one of those as well. And I want to remember to do more Cocoa Daisy projects in that format now that this kit is actually really adapted to fit that size very well. And the idea sheets, for instance, this one is about a 6x8 layout. So that gives you a couple ideas. Last month there was an idea for a very small mini that could be made with the kit. So it's modern memory keeping in that it suits those of us who like to work in different formats. So these idea sheets are great. The one in the TN kit has also some ideas for different kinds of traveler's notebook pages, different types of stories you can tell, different ways to design the page, and that is particularly true for the sketch content. And I really like this month's sketch this time because it isn't just the design, it's also kind of the idea of telling a story with side-by-side photos that maybe compare a couple of things you love, like maybe coffee and tea, or maybe before and after, maybe something that is changing with the seasons. And I just think this is a really interesting idea. And some of the ideas will capture you, some won't. Some will like be a jumping off point for a different idea. But I think this content is really great. I'm really glad it's included in the kit, and wanted to kind of emphasize it a little bit more in the unboxing this time. Okay, so those are the two memory keeping kits. Some of you get the classified, so here it comes in its brown wrapper. So be sure to shut off the video now if you don't want to see what's inside this. My kit actually ended up coming late this time. It was like rechanneled from Michigan to Illinois to Pennsylvania before it got back to Michigan. So you probably have your kits by now. Okay, so this has a nice little acrylic word, lovely, which is indeed lovely. A whole packet of labels, which I really love. These are like so great. I use them all the time. It's really nice to have extra, and they are in the blues, in the color scheme, of course. Another alphabet to do a subtitle, somewhat smaller, the blush color. And look at this, puffy hearts with polka dots and kind of watercolor look. They're just absolutely gorgeous and so usable. I use this sort of thing all the time, and it adds a little bit of a different texture. They're great in embellishment clusters. And again, it's something that even though it might be February-like, it's something you can really use throughout the year, because look at all of them. You'll have a lot. These are really cool. These are another Leica tip-in long tags that you could put a photo on the back. You could find really creative ways to use these in the TN or in like a 6x8 album where you might just punch holes and add it. So I like the way this works with both kits. Yeah, and then some extra paper, and this paper is really good, especially if you're a 12x12 scrapper, because it gives you a little bit of, or if you just want to do 12x12 pages, which is me, then you can, use it across the page. And it's in the same designs we saw earlier in the papers. Okay, it gives you a little extra to work with. So that is the classified kit for memory keepers. The last thing I'm going to go through is the sticker kit. And you get a little small sticker with, again, some more phrase stickers. This is what it looks like. These are really great for memory planning or regular planners or journals. And I always really like the way this kit smells. I know it's a goofy thing to say, but it smells really fresh and new, hot off the press, that kind of new book smell. Love the flowers this time. Yeah, those will be, again, fun for clusters. And the labels are really interesting because some of them are heart-shaped, some are that kind of scallop, and then some more traditional with rounded edges that make them just a little bit interesting. I always really like the sticker kit. More of those blocks that can be used in planners. You can also, of course, use punch circles or other things out of these for traveler's notebook spreads. Sticker kit is something I reach for a lot. I always like these circles. Used a lot of them last month. And yeah, and then more phrases. And then a nice scripty alpha in navy, again, for a subtitle or for a small title. And it comes in both caps and lowercase, so you can combine them. Okay, well, thanks for joining along on the unboxing of the February kit for Cocoa Daisy. Have a lot of fun working with it, and I hope maybe by mid-month I'll come back in and do you a little more of a process video or walk you through some techniques of what I'm doing in my creating. Thanks for joining in, and I'll see you later.